A very good evening to all, and welcome to yet another session on the Facebook live page of SKT University Hanumangarh with me, Parmita Dhar. Uh, I'll just wait for one or two people to join in, and I'd like to know if we are going live. Can anybody see, hear uh, us, rather me? Am I audible to all of you? One or two, uh, hi, hello, maybe kind of a chat message. If I get, I will be able to understand that I am visible and I am audible as well. So I can see Rakhi and Anita. Hi, Anita. Hello, Rakhi. Hello, Devilal. Good afternoon. Uh, okay. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the Saturday evening time. So I thought I bring it for you, though I also informed this in yesterday's class as well, that on Saturday, we need to do something which is fun to learn and easy to remember, yet important for us while learning any language. When it is English language class, English language session, so certainly we will do it with English language, but but other than that, we need to keep in mind that um, this kind of language thing, which we are going to do today, we will also have in our vernacular language. So Devilal is saying he's present today. Yes, I can see you. Alam, hello. Good Charan, hello. Manish Kumar, Rohit and Mamta. Okay, fine. So many people joining in. Time to start this Facebook Live session on Hi Dravir Moria, Ramna Dudwal, hello. This Facebook Live session on today's topic, that is idioms and phrases. Let me tell you, today's topic is idioms and phrases. Okay. Okay, so we have Kavita, we have Amit. Hello to all of you. Okay, student of SKD University. Very good. Very good. Yes, I'm keeping fit and fine. So far, so good. I believe all of you are keeping well too. Now, when we talk about idioms, let me start with giving you an example. In the place where I am sitting right now, that is Kolkata, I will. Today's topic is idioms and phrases. आज का topic है idioms or phrases, right? So, before I get into the definition and all, let me give you an example. The place where I am taking this class from, I'm here in Kolkata, West Bengal. It's been raining cats and dogs since 3 days. It's been raining cats and dogs since last 3 days. So, this phrase cats and dogs का मतलब क्या है? I'm saying it's raining cats and dogs since last 3 days. Nice to meet you all, Rohit. Thank you. I say it's raining cats and dogs in Kolkata, right? So what do I mean? Having raining. Yes, Shubham. Thank you so much. That means it is raining. Musladhar, continuously raining. Absolutely. But I'm not using any word which is telling me or telling my listeners or telling to the people, my communicatees, about what kind of rain it is. Hello, Harpinder. About what kind of rain it is. Am I doing so? No, I'm not. I am not. है ना? So I'm using a different word which has got no connection with rains. Kaha ka cat, kaha ka dogs, and kaha ka billi and kutta in the concept of rain. But when I say, you understand, and I am being able to express whatever is there in my mind, in me, more efficiently then saying that it is raining continuously, it is raining so much, this, that, and the other. I'm using an absolutely different frame of words, combination of words, meaning a certain situation. Okay? Now, so in that case, let us understand what do we mean by idioms. Idiom is a word or a phrase that means something different than what you would think from the individual words. So when I say raining cats and dogs, मतलब आसमान से तो cats and dogs नहीं टपक रहे हैं ना, right? So a different meaning altogether for expressing something else. For example, another example I uh, say piece of cake. The English examination was a piece of cake for me. The English test was a piece of cake for me. The piece of cake कैसे होता है? You like eating cakes? I love to eat cakes. So piece of cake is smooth, easy. You don't have to give much pressure on your teeth and chewing and all. Sweet and easy to digest. That means absolutely comfortable thing. There is no problem while eating a piece of cake. So the English test was a piece of cake. That means it was so easy. It was so easy. Hello सुहावना, हेलो गुरुचरण. अच्छा आपने बारिश का फोटो भी दे दिया. Very good. So this is what idioms are all about. For hard working, yes, burning the midnight oil. Yeah, you have to burn the midnight oil before your exams. Otherwise, you cannot expect good marks. Absolutely. So you are being able to understand, right? So I will be sharing today some very commonly used idioms, which if we use, अगर उसको हम लोग हमारे communication में, whether it is written or it is oral, if we use them in our communication becomes more effective. The impact of such communication is always more positive on the listener or the communicating, whosoever, right? Hello, Dr. Rachna Sharma. Nice to see you again in the session. Anita, Manisha, hello. So, yeah. So, what are idioms? An idiom is a phrase with a meaning that is often difficult to understand understand by looking at the individual words. अगर हम लोग अलग अलग words को लेते हैं तो वो बहुत difficult हो जाता है समझने के लिए. It becomes very difficult to understand. Say for example, my uncle just arrived out of the blue. So if we take this thing out of the blue, right? Does it make any sense with the arrival of uncle or whatever? But together, it means suddenly and unexpectedly. Suddenly and unexpectedly. So my uncle suddenly just arrived out of the blue means my uncle came without any prior notice. We never expected him to come. Okay. So this is This is an example. I believe you all can understand. Now, point number two, not all idioms are so difficult to guess. Many phrases that are easier to understand are listed as idioms in dictionaries because they have a fixed problem. For example, I ring my mother every day without fail. So, without fail means I never forget to do so. Always. Something which I never miss. So I ring my mother. That means I call up my mother every day without fail. Okay? Most idioms have a fixed form. Most idioms have a fixed form. However, with some idioms, alternative words are possible. That means, do you want to go out? That and it depends used to say that you are not sure about. Do you want to go out? Maybe you want to go out, you may not want to go out. When on earth, why on earth you are shouting? Why on earth you are shouting? Be quiet. But look, why are you shouting? I do not know why are you shouting. So tell me why are you shouting? Or you keep quiet, right? In this particular idiom, you see our difference, like why, how, where, who on earth used to emphasize a question when you are angry or surprised. Why the five W's, one H kind of a thing. Sometimes additional words can be used with an idiom, especially to change the emphasis. It makes a lot of sense to buy now while the houses are cheap. The idiom, the original idiom is make sense, or the phrase is make sense. So what we are doing, it makes a lot of sense to buy. We are using a few words in between. A lot of sense to buy now while the houses are cheap. It makes no sense to plan a vacation during the pandemic. It makes no sense to plan a vacation during the pandemic. So what I'm doing is actually I'm practically and logically using a few words other than the words of the idiom. Other than the words of the idiom. Okay, so this can be done. And when do we do it? We can only do it when we are able to understand. When we are able to understand the meaning and the reason for using it. हम लोग इस छोटे छोटे चेंजेस को तभी कर सकते हैं जब when we will be able to understand कहाँ पे logically, rationally and correctly change हम लोग कर सकते हैं. Okay. So let me stop this sharing. I will keep on sharing and like I do. Spare the rod. Where did it go? Spare the rod and spoil the child. Spare the rod and spoil the child means if you do not use, if you are not strict with your children, you will not be able, they will be spoiled. They will be spoiled, right? Yes. But whosoever has given this, so in order to discipline your children, you have to be very strict, with a rod, cane in your hand. But this is a proverb. This is a proverb. These are very similar. Proverbs and idioms are very similar, very close. But generally, if you tell me, ma'am, what is it? I will say it is a proverb. So what is this? Yes, ma'am, and all. Screen clearly nahi dikh raha hai. I really do not know what is the problem, and I have to, I do not know, मुझे शायद आईटी के जो हेल्प है यहाँ पे उनसे बात करना होगा, because there are some people who says the screen is clear, there are some people who says the screen is not clear. If it is not clear from my end, then it will not be clear to any one of you, isn't it? And if it is not clear from your end, I mean from some people's end, then maybe it is an individual problem. I will nonetheless I'll speak to the concerned person, and I will see. See, Sushil Kumar again is saying कि नहीं मैम clear है. अच्छा, Abhishek has a question. Let me try to answer it. Ma'am, could this have positive, opposite and positive meaning? मतलब मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. Opposite and positive means what? अभिषेक, क्या आप एक एग्जाम्पल मुझे दे सकते हैं? आप क्या पूछना चाह रहे हैं? आप क्या पूछना चाह रहे हैं? अगर आप एक एग्जाम्पल मुझे दे तो आई विल बी इन अ बेटर पोजिशन टू. Hello, Rekha ji. Rekha ji is saying that she is a staff of SKT University. Good to have you. Clear है मैम. पता नहीं हरपिंदर, I will just try to find it out with the IT person of the university, and maybe I'll get some idea from him, because again I'm saying that you can only see Amit Bambu. Is it? Are you saying this to me, my dear? Please increase your video resolution to 480p. Is it a suggestion to me? I'm not being able to understand. और अगर ये है तो how do I do it? Again, I have to take the help from the IT person. So I actually cannot do it in today's class. I will keep it for the next day's class. Okay. But thank you, Amit. If you spared the rod on child, he could spoil. देखो ये तो हो ही सकता है. मतलब अच्छा, thank you, Amit. Thank you for clarifying it. Abhishek, now I understand that if you spare the rod, uh, the child spare the rod and spoil the child, right? Agar, even if you not spare the rod, the child can be spoiled. Yes, that can always happen. This has nothing to do with the idioms. This has nothing to do with idioms, right? So we will only focus, and we will discuss about idioms. Okay, okay. No, the font size is absolutely fine with mine, Poonam, because I have been doing this since morning. I keep on doing it. This is what I do actually. This is my profession, taking sessions. So in that case, I don't think there is any problem with the font size and all, right? Because I have already taken two classes today, being a Saturday, which I generally do not do. But today, because of some reason, I had to take two classes, and this is my third one, and no one complained actually. So that is why I'm not very sure. But certainly, I will speak to the IT concerned IT person, right? Okay. Now let us move on. So let me give you another example. In order to be a good communicator, okay, now I will share a blank page with you so that I can write and you are being able to understand. So if I write, In order to be a good communicator, you need to have the gift of gab. Our science teacher, our science teacher is a happy-go-lucky man. Our science teacher is a happy-go-lucky man or a happy-go-lucky person. Another one, let me tell you. mm, mm, another one. Okay. Uh, it's a very common one. Life is not a bed of roses, right? So, so if you see, if you see in these three sentences, I have used three idioms, right? First one is gift of gab, the second one is a happy-go-lucky man, and the third one is bed of roses. Now, let me come back to you, right? Uh, Acha, thank you. Okay, okay, Harpinder. Chalo, thank you, Amit. You should always, all of you should thank Amit for giving you the idea. So here I have used three sentences. I have written three sentences and I have used three idioms. Number one is gift of gab. From the sentence, could you make out what is gift of gab? I wrote, to be a good communicator, you need to have the gift of gab. So, from the sentence, could you make out what is the meaning of gift of gab? The polite speaking, okay, very close, very close. Of course, I must take this. Anyone else? A bit improvisation on what Amit is writing. Ability to speak well, absolutely. The flow, the ability of oral communication, right? You know, there are people who are very good in writing, might not be very good in speaking, because speaking is a different activity altogether. You know, the people who are very quiet, they can sit quietly and write. But when you speak, it's a very fast process. Speaking is a very spontaneous and a very fast process, and for that, you really need to have the gift of gab. You're thinking, you're speaking, you're taking care of your language, you're taking care of your content, you're taking care of your style, you're taking care of your pronunciation, you're taking care of your body language, you're taking care of the feedback of your audience, like how they are reacting to what you are saying, so on and so forth. So when it comes to oral communication, it's a multitasking stuff. And in order to do that multitasking, you really need to have the ability to speak well. Very good, Amit and Priya. Thank you for coming up with this. The next one I wrote is us. Our science teacher is a happy-go-lucky person or is a happy-go-lucky man. What do we mean by happy-go-lucky? If you see the term happy-go-lucky, क्या मतलब होता है इसमें ना there's a verb though, so happy is going to be lucky. I do not know what does it mean. Protocol? No, not protocol. What is protocol? Nay, nay. Happy go lucky. From the sentence, what do you come to know about your science teacher? A science teacher is a happy go lucky person. Khush mizaj, ekdam, ekdam. Who's this? Amit Bambu. Yes, एकदम मतलब हैप्पी पर्सन, बिंदास जिसको बोलते हैं, राइट? दैट इज अ हैप्पी गो लकी पर्सन. That is a happy go lucky person. Right. And the next one, which I think you all know, that life is not a bed of roses. Life is not a bed of roses. So, what is it then? What is it? Tell me, are your lives a bed of roses? Tell me, my dear boys and girls. हाँ सदवीर नमस्ते, कामना नमस्ते. चलो, bed of roses. Yeah, ability to speak easily, Rekha. Right. Thank you, Rekha ji. You are right. Life is full of problems. Bed of roses means something which is beautiful, fragrant, without any problem. But yes, our life is full of problems, not full of problems, but sometimes we have problems in our life. So we cannot say that our life is a bed of roses. We have the thorns of the roses in it as well. Not easy. Right. Not easy. If I say, when it comes to English language, we all are in the same boat. We all are in the same boat. What do we mean? Don't hesitate in speaking. Don't mind if you make a mistake. Remember, we all are in the same boat. तो इससे मैं क्या समझाना चाह रही हूँ? What am I trying to explain with this or say with it? बोलो. We all are in the same boat. That means we all are in the same situation of life. Even I cannot speak well in English. Mm, you also cannot speak well in English, so we should not hide from each other, right? We should not hide, or we should not. Deepman, good evening. We should not hesitate in expressing ourselves, thinking that the other person knows better than me. नहीं, हम लोग एक ही जगह पे है. We are all in the same boat. एक ही लेवल पे है. कोई आगे नहीं, कोई पीछे नहीं. We are all in the same boat. That means our conditions in a particular situation of life or in a particular phase of life are all same. We are stuck up in the same boat. Neither we can go ahead or come back, or whatever we do, we are going to be in the same. We will progress in the same way, or we will regress in the same way. तो हम लोग का स्थिति, हम लोग का सिचुएशन एक ही है. ब्यूटीफुल का मतलब क्या है, रेखा सिंगला? इन व्हाट कॉन्टेक्स्ट you are writing beautiful? Can you please tell me? And all of us, mistakes reflects our efforts. Yeah, true. Okay, now another one which I will tell you. I had a cold feet when I went to meet the principal of the college. I had a cold feet when I went to meet the principal of the college. Let me write it for you, then it will be easier to understand. Bolo, can you see it? Can you see it? Did you see it, all of you? Now tell me, what does it mean? Now tell me, what does it mean? Huh, yes. Fear, absolutely. Absolutely. Fear. Fear. Nervous. Right, Priya. Lack of confidence. Absolutely, Elisa. लेकिन क्या होता है, सी दिस यू कैन रिलेट व्हेन वी गेट वेरी nervous. राइट विराट, राइट. व्हेन वी गेट वेरी नर्वस, हम लोग का हाथ पैर ठंडा हो जाता है, सो दैट इज अ कोल्ड फीट. That is a cold feet, right? When we are tensed, uh, good things come to those who wait for it. Good things come to those who wait for it. Again, let me tell you, right for you rather. Or iska sentence you people will make. I will give you the idiom, you will make the sentence. So this is the idiom. Good things come to those who wait. Is it clear to all of you? And what does it mean? What does it mean? Good things come to those who wait. What does it mean? It means to have patience. To have patience. Now, can we put it in a sentence and understand where and how we can use it? Can we put it in a sentence and understand where and how we use it? Patience, absolutely. You are absolutely right. Now, where and how we can use this particular idiom? Good things come to people who wait. I mean, it is itself a sentence. You can use a little words here and there and you can make it to a complete sentence with a complete meaning. Do that immediately. I'm giving you 30 seconds time. You have to do it. Once you do it, the more you apply it into sentences, paragraphs, while you are speaking in your oral communication, it remains in your mind. I'll show you 100 ways of doing it. Theoretically, never happens. It's like mathematics, it's like swimming, it's like driving. Unless you do it on your own, you never learn it. So, 30 seconds I think is over or not over, I do not know. Another 30 seconds, chalo. Put it in a sentence, any one of you, or all of you. Put it in a sentence. Absolutely. When the student got depressed by his academic performance, his teacher suggested him to work hard and said, good things come to those who wait. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's a long sentence. But correct. Correct. Okay, correct. Thank you, Amit, for this. I think we all are thinking in the same line. He was the one to write it for us. He was the one to write it for us. Another time for another sharing. Okay. Now you see types of idioms. Types of idioms: verb based, prepositional based, noun and phrases, saying proverbs, better late than never, fixed phrases with two key words, bright and early, more or less, like this, idiomatic phrasal verbs for get through, laugh off, all these things, exclamation or short spoken phrases, right? Like, don't ask me, thanks, heaven, oh Lord, all these. So, these are the 7 types of idioms you can have. But ask me, uh, if you ask me, I will tell you, to just not bother yourself about all these different types of idioms. All you need to know is the idioms. Frankly speaking, till yesterday when I was taking your class and I was thinking that I will take the next class about idioms, I never thought of the different types of idioms, because if you ask me, I have a stock of, a idiom bank with me in my mind. I can use it appropriately wherever necessary, and that is it. And I believe you got to do the same, right? Acha, Kavita, what are you writing? Keep studying, my dear, because good things come to those who wait. Absolutely. Study hard, because good things come to those who wait. Yes. So, that is the intention of doing this kind of a topic, or discussing this kind of a topic in the session, so that you learn to use it. You learn to use it while writing English, while speaking English. No matter whether you know what are the different types of idioms or not, because you're not going to write an exam to become an English language or teacher or a linguistic expert. So you are not supposed to. You need not burden yourself with all these things, right? So, another thing which I think I will share with you is phrasal verb. So what is that? A phrasal verb is a verb plus a preposition or adverb which creates a meaning different from the original verb. A phrasal verb is a verb plus a preposition. Like, you see, I ran into my teacher. So it's ran and a preposition, which is, ran is a verb and into is a preposition. So together they form the phrasal verb. Into my teacher at the movies last night. That means suddenly meet someone. Suddenly you come across someone, you meet someone. He ran away when he was 15. Ran plus away, that is भाग जाना, घर से निकल के भाग जाना, leaving home. Some phrasal verbs are intransitive. An intransitive verb cannot be followed by an object. For example, he suddenly showed up. Right? Show up cannot take an object. I'll give you more examples on this. Some phrasal verbs are transitive. A transitive verb can be followed by an object. For example, I made up a story. मैंने एक कहानी बना दिया. Made up means I made up a story. He suddenly showed up. Where? That is not given. अचानक से वो वहां पे पहुंच गया. Right? He was not expected. This is related to the one out of the blue. Out of the blue. That is suddenly, doing something suddenly. Right? He will not show up. He will not show up. वो नहीं जाए. right? Some transitive verbs, phrasal verbs are separable. The object is placed between the verb and the preposition. Like, I talked my mother into letting me borrow the car. Talked into को इसको तोड़ दिया. I talked my mother into letting me borrow the car. She looked the phone number up. She looked for the phone number. Again a phrasal verb. She looked the phone number up. The same meaning. The same meaning. What is being done? The object is here is placed between the verb and the preposition. Right? Interesting stuff. Right. Now, what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a verb plus, okay, this I have already shared with you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And now this one. Okay. Okay. It's done. It's done. No more sharing from my side today. Right. So why are these verbs, these phrasal verbs and these idioms are being used? We need to be patient and give him a little space. Huh. We need to be patient and give him a little space. Yes, Virat Rai, I agree with you. This is an interesting sentence Virat has written. He has written that we need to be patient and give him a little space. Now, when I say little space, we always say, no, our parents doesn't give us space. I need my own space. What does that space mean? The space doesn't mean the physical space. It means my area of thinking, my mental space. Okay, that's an interesting one which he has said, but it is actually, not used as a phrasal verb. Not used as a idiom. Okay, now the other one, the next idiom which I would like to tell you is your guess is as good as mine. Okay, let me write. It will be easier for you all to understand. Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. What do I mean to say from this? Freedom, yes, that is the space one, I believe. Yes, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. इसका क्या मतलब है? You can find it out now. You can find it out later on. I'm going to hit the sack. I'm going to hit the sack. I'm very tired. I'm going to hit the sack. That means what? I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Your guess is as good as mine. As good as mine. That means neither you know nor I know. So we both are guessing it wrong, perhaps. Right? The new magazine was selling like hotcakes. The new magazine was selling like hotcakes. Means what? The magazine on the Olympics, the India Today edition of Tokyo Olympic 2021 sold like hotcakes. What do we mean by that? What do we mean by that? It means selling like hotcakes means something which is sold out very, very quickly. Very quickly. आप लेके बैठे and immediately it's being sold out. another. Let me just think of one appropriate, because there are many which uh, I can say, or we can discuss, but I'm looking for something with which we can actually relate to. A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. A bird in the hand, this one I think I must write. It's a proverb more than an idiom. So, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. So, what do we mean by this? What do we mean by this? Anyone? It means that the opportunity that we have in our hand now, we should rely on that more than of something in the future. So whatever we have now, we should be able to uh, we should be able to manage or be happy with that, than of thinking something which is not in my hand. I'm not showing any slide. Amit, I'm not showing any slide. Okay, so a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. जो मेरे पास है वो अच्छा है. अगर मैं सोचूं कि नहीं किसी और के पास कुछ है, वो सोच के I should not spare, or I should not misuse or not use the one that I have. Do not cry over split milk. Do not cry over split milk. This everyone knows, I believe. Whatever has happened has happened. We always say, no, it's a very common oral term that we use. Whatever has happened has happened. No point crying over split milk. जो दूध गिर गया है उस पे रोके कोई फायदा नहीं, because we cannot use it anyway. Blue-eyed boy. Yes, don't panic about mistakes, right? Blue-eyed boy. He is the blue-eyed boy of the class. He is the blue-eyed boy of the class. Means favorite. Blue-eyed means favorite boy. No link with the words that are being used with the message which is being said. No, blue-eyed need not be brilliant. Favorite. Absolutely favorite. When I went to the college, after my school, I felt like a fish out of water. When I went to the college after my school, I felt like a fish out of water. Matlab? Uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable. I was out of my comfort zone. So I was feeling very awkward, right? You have to go an extra mile to achieve what you want. Uncomfortable, right? You have to go an extra mile to achieve what you want. What does this go the extra mile or go an extra mile means? Means work hard, right? I have the news straight from the horse's mouth. I have the news straight from the horse's mouth. Tell me, इसका क्या मतलब है? Can a horse speak? कि उसके mouth से I will get the news? So what does it mean? I have the news straight from the horse's mouth. I'm waiting for your um, reactions, your responses. Responses. No, no. No, no, na chaplusi, na fake news. Genuine news from the right person. The results will be out tomorrow. I have the news straight from the horse's mouth. That means maybe from the teacher, or maybe from the principal, maybe from the person who's in responsibility, who's responsible for publishing results. That means from the right person when you have the kind of news, right? That is what it is. I am walking on thin ice. I am walking on thin ice. So on the thin ice is the idiom I'm talking about. Means what? I am walking on the thin ice means what? That means the ice can break anytime, and I might fall and have a meet with an accident. That means ये क्या है जी 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 untrustworthy way, not an untrustworthy way, but a precarious or a risky situation. I am into a risky situation. कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. I might you know uh, face some problem or meet with an accident or whatever like that. Okay. Play devil's advocate. Sorry for playing the devil's advocate. Sorry for playing the devil's advocate. Playing, yes, doing something risky, doing risky. Priya uh, and Aliza, right? Amika, Madam ji, Ram Ram. Hello, Amika. Ram Ram आपको भी. So he was not agreeing to back off as if he was playing the devil's advocate. ये आप मुझे बताइए. What do we mean by the devil's advocate? थोड़ा सा सोचिए and then you tell me. Fraud work? No. There's nothing called fraud work in devil's advocate. Devil's advocate means unnecessary argue for the sake of it when you don't need to argue, or argue from the other side of the point. From the other side of the point, right? Say, for example, argue from the culprit's point of view. That is devil's advocate. Okay. To rain on someone's parade. To rain on someone's parade. बने बनाए काम पे पानी फेर देना. To ruin or to spoil a moment. Yes, of course, devil's advocacy is required. I agree with Virat Joshi that devil's advocacy is required to make the argument interesting. Not only that, to be able to see a particular issue from different points of view. From different points of view. Right? Bread and butter. I earn my bread and butter by teaching. I earn my bread and butter by teaching. I earn my bread and butter by teaching. Salary, yes, roti roji. इसका हिंदी बहुत आसान है, ये मुझे भी मालूम है. Right? Bread and butter is roti roji. Okay. Beating around the bush. This is one phrase, one idiom I keep on using. You know, every people has some stock of things that they use repeatedly. So I use bread and yeah, main source. I use beating around the bush very, very commonly. That means, what do we mean by beating around the bush? And how do I put it in a sentence? Stop beating around the bush and come to the main analysis part of your presentation. Suppose you're giving a presentation and you say on I can see so many people are there in agricultural department studying BSc or MSc agriculture. So I say stop beating around the bush and give your presentation on the necessity of farm bills in India, or the impact of farm bills on the agricultural sector of the country. Beating around the bush, what does that mean? Bolo. To talk about unnecessary things, not coming to the point. To talk about unnecessary things or not coming to the point, that is beating around the bush. Right? And before I end the class, if you have any question, you can ask me. My time is almost over. Speaking without the main point, right? Because when it comes to idioms or yesterday when I was doing modal verbs, there are so many examples, especially in idioms. There are so many examples, hundreds and thousands, right? That if I keep on doing 5 classes on these, I will still have enough to avoid giving a definite answer. Absolutely, right? So this is a matter of practice. When you read here and there, you read things, the newspaper, you read English storybooks, you watch English movies, you come across a lot of such idioms and phrases, and you learn from there. Okay, so any question you can ask me. Basic book to learn English, I really do not know, Amit. I have never learnt English from any book as such, but at the same time, I can tell you, you take an English newspaper every day and you read that. I think that is the most basic thing you can do about learning English. Because ये सब मतलब book पढ़ के ना you will not be able to do. I mean, you will not find it interesting. It is very important to make the learning process interesting, right? So that you cannot do it from a spoken English book. I told you that. I do not know. Someone else also asked me the other day. Unavailable in a village area. You don't need to have. You have a smartphone, I believe, and you can always download it. You can have the app of Times of India or Hindustan Times or any newspaper you like reading. You can have the app. That's all. You don't need to have anything else. Right? You don't need to have anything else. I always say this is your everything. This is your everything. Once you have it with you, you have all books, all newspaper, all media reports, everything here. Television, सब कुछ है. तो यहाँ पे ना आप app download कर लो. Right? There are many grammar apps also. You can download those, like Grammarly.com, Ginger software. Right? You go to Play Store and you see, you will know. So this is all, and I will like to call it a day. I'm ending my class with an idiom, and I'm saying, so students, friends and attendees, let us call it a day for today, and I will be meeting you on Monday at 5 p.m. But what do we mean by calling it a day? That means ending the work for the particular day. उस दिन के लिए काम को खत्म करना. Right? और एक दिन बैठेंगे idioms लेके if we have time, because it is a galore of learning. इतने अच्छे idioms है, इतने अच्छे words सीखने को मिलता है. It's a galore of learning. And for Amit and others who want to learn English, who are very serious about learning English, I would request you to uh, download any newspaper app, I mean, English newspaper app, any newspaper app, and you read it at least for 20 minutes a day, and you should read it aloud. For example, see, I have a newspaper in front of me, the Telegraph. So I take the newspaper, I take up a news, any news. अगर आपको sports में interest हो, अगर आपको politics में interest हो, you take any news and then you read it aloud. You read it aloud, right? Lovelina Borgohain of Assam has assured India its first boxing medal at the Tokyo Olympics. So, how am I reading? I'm reading it aloud, right? And have you visited IIM Calcutta, Indian Institute of Management Calcutta? Yes, I have visited Indian Institute of Management Calcutta. The other day you asked me if I have visited IIT Kharagpur. Yes, I have visited IIT Kharagpur also, but I'm not a student of either of the two institutes. I'm a student of the Calcutta University. Okay, so that is all, my dear students. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. We'll see you again on Monday at 5 p.m. at this Facebook Live page of SKT University. Thank you.